Hey guys, today we have the Microsoft Surface Pro 3. As you can tell, the front is already skinned with the black carbon fiber, and as you can tell, the precise cutouts for the camera, sensor, and the button on the side. To start off with our installation, we're going to remove the previously installed black carbon fiber. Off the glass part of the Microsoft Surface Pro 3, the front screen comes off fairly simple off the glass. Just remember to dust off the screen before you install the new skin. And we're going to get right to it. You want to be gentle while peeling this piece off the wax paper. There's very thin sides, and at the corners it could tear, and on the longer pieces it could stretch as well. Now, to make sure that you align it correctly, you want to reapply the wax paper. And that's right underneath the area where the sensors and the camera is. Just so you can see a little bit of the screen border and that you can line up the sensors as well. As you notice, for this particular step, we're going to be using these sensors as our pivot point. And we're going to try to align around the screen as well. That's why we leave the little gap behind the wax paper so we can see it. Alright, once you feel confident, press it down in the middle, and then press it from the middle out to the side. Now, if there's a little realigning to be done, be very gentle while lifting it up, because like I said previously, it will stretch. Alright, so the top part of our front screen is installed correctly, and we check that it's not overlapping. Just a slight move there. And now just do one last check to see if it is overlapping. Now that it isn't, you can completely remove the rest of the wax paper, and the rest of the screen will fall into place. But if you have a problem, you can use the wax paper as your guide to line up one corner at a time. You may have to do so to get that perfect, precise cutout around the Microsoft symbol. Now that that's centered, you press that down, and then you move to the final corner. Now the rest of the screen should be aligned. This final corner should be a cinch. Just remember, put pressure all around the screen so that your skin will stick to the screen. Next we have the sides. This piece is the top, which should be installed last. And these two pieces are the left and right, and they are installed to your discretion on which side. For this particular video, we're going to be installing the left one first. You want to completely peel it off the wax paper. And like with the screen, you want to be gentle and put it on a flat, solid, stationary item in order to peel it off correctly, so it doesn't stretch or rip. Now you want to follow the area around the headphone jack and this button here. And once you have these two areas centered, you can move down the rest of the length of the side wrap. And then the final piece you have to align around is the area where you can get to the door. Now that you have two wings, you want to start to bend them down. We're going to start with the longer one first. You just want to lightly bend it over and make sure it's aligned around the area where you can plug it into your touch cover. And now it's for the other piece where it aligns to the top. You can see that we haven't centered it correctly. You can lift it up to realign it, but like I've always said, be very gentle. And now we're on to the right side. This side wrap has a couple of more cutouts than the previous one, and it's going to be a lot more delicate. As you can also see in this area, there's nothing to support it on top. It's going to be a blank area in the skin, and it's going to make it very more delicate. So in this case, this is optional to do as a step, but we're going to put some Scotch tape around that area in order to add some support, so it won't stretch or rip or misalign while you're installing. As you can tell, we only covered it. We lined up the tape to the top of the skin. And that's just to make it more precise. So we're going to try to align all three areas at the same time. The area that you put the tape, it's going to be a little bit more sturdy and easier to center. So your main concern is going to be the other port area. Some minor tweaks on the edges may be needed, and as long as they're not stuck, you can lightly lift them up. And now we can get onto the wings like we did with the previous side, and just fold them over and make sure that they align to the cutouts on each end, such as this area for the touch cover. Now remove the tape and just make sure you press it all down so it is stuck to your device. And now just double check to see if it overhangs, and we're good to go. We're now on to our final piece of the sides. It's going to be the top area. We're going to start around the lock button on the left-hand side, and we're going to end on the opposite end. Now, it could be longer or it could be misaligned while installing due to the previous installation steps. So we're going to start with this end, like I said. And once that's centered, just press that area around the lock button down. And then gradually move to the opposite end of your Surface Pro 3. And now if you have a perfect installation, the other end is going to line up perfectly. As you can see here, we almost make a full contact connection with the opposite side. But it is a little extended. As you can tell, we didn't stretch it. It might just be due to how we installed the other side. So you want to just split that bubble up and then press it down. And now all three sides connect. Alright guys, thanks for watching for the Microsoft Surface Pro 3 front and sides. And until next time, be sure to look out for the back of the Microsoft Surface Pro and other accessories for this device.